have kind of a Pearl Harbor personal day in your life? A day it's just frozen in time, you know the date, you know the time, and when you think about it, you go, whoa. Well, for me, it's December 5th, 1990. I was 34 years old, and I was living in Pierre, South Dakota. I was Director of Sales and Marketing for South Dakota Tourism, and I had just returned from my first trip to Japan, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, representing South Dakota tourism with United Airlines and tourism agencies in Colorado and Wyoming. Prior to that, we had lived in state park housing because I married a state parks guy. And so we had bought a house. Would you please raise your hand if you have ever remodeled a house? Have you ever remodeled a kitchen? Do you remember when that was a good idea? We were in the middle of remodeling the kitchen. And that meant that on December 5th, 1990, the kitchen as I knew it was down to nothing but bare walls. A telephone still on the wall, but nothing else. And a bucket of mud. The kitchen cupboards had arrived in these big, huge boxes. Remember how big those are when they come? So the living room over here was full of boxes. And the bedroom over here had become the makeshift kitchen. So you know what kind of total chaos I had in my life on December 5th, 1990. And plus, my husband was out in the Black Hills because he was building what would become the Mickelson Trail. And I had two little girls who were ages 10 and 6. So that's my life on December 5th, 1990 when the telephone rang. And it was my sister saying, "The hospital called, they don't think Mom's gonna make it, get home now." I went, and I called her right back and she repeated the message and hung up again. But what I didn't know about life at that point in time is that moms could die suddenly. You know, I always thought that, oh, someday I'll talk to my mom about that, and someday I'll ask her about that, and someday I'll say, I'm sorry for being such a pill in high school. But I didn't get that chance. Sudden death just robs you of that. And I didn't know that you wouldn't get a chance to say goodbye to the one who gave you life. Somehow I just knew that I'd had that chance, but I didn't. And I also had no idea that all of that could happen just before Christmas, which was the holiday that my mom made special my entire life. I grew up on a farm in northeastern South Dakota, didn't know I grew up poor. My mom made every Christmas special, every single one. So that's what I faced on December 5th, 1990.